Latter-day Saints are accused of being Satan worshipers because some of our early buildings, the Logan Temple, the Salt Lake Temple, the Nauvoo Temple, all three of them have inverted 5-part stars on them. There are 40 on the Salt Lake Temple. Every window on the Nauvoo Temple is an inverted pentagram in a circle surrounded by 3 stones at each of the 4 cardinal directions, 12 stones. Here we have an inverted pentagram surrounding the Nauvoo Temple, the temple designed by Joseph Smith, the prophet of the Restoration. Why would he put a pentagram on one of the most important early temples? The pentagram is perhaps the oldest graphic symbol on the planet, discovered in ancient Babylon. For centuries, for millennia, it was tied to light, to creation, to healing. Some of the old healing professions and doctors used the pentagram as a symbol of healing. Because it has those connections of light, divine geometry, healing and perfection, of course it would be tied to Jesus Christ, and it is. He cast out evil and darkness. He cast out evil spirits. It started in 1855 with a French Catholic deacon who was also a Mason. He was kicked out of the Catholic Church. He was kicked out of Masonry. His name was Alphonse Louis Constant. He was into magic and into some unusual things. He took the upright 5-pointed star, a symbol of light, and he inverted it and put it on his first book of magic, making it a symbol of the occult and darkness.
Alphonse Constant changed his name to be Hebrew, and he became known as Eliphaz Levi. This researcher of what he called the ancient doctrines used the pentagram in conjunction with the Tetragrammaton to create a symbol blaspheming the sacred name of God. The Tetragrammaton is Greek. It means 4 letters. The Tetragrammaton has reference to the 4 letters in Hebrew which create the Lord's name. The Lord's name is pronounced by most biblical scholars and Hebrew linguists as Yahweh.
According to Jewish practice, the name of God is treated with such reverence that verbally pronouncing the name is avoided. Writing the name unnecessarily is also avoided, even resulting in abbreviations for the name.
The god of the occult is most commonly represented in satanic illustrations by the Tetragrammaton. Occultists consider the Hebrew names of God like Adonai and Elohim to hold power, and none of these is more powerful to them than the Tetragrammaton. Clearly, the use of the Tetragrammaton and other names of God by Satanists does not make the names of God evil any more than their adoption of the pentagram makes the pentagram evil.
In my era, when there was DVDs and videos that we'd rent, I'd go to the movie store and we'd see scary movies often had an inverted pentagram on it. And so I did a little survey and I found about 10% of all the scary movies, especially those dealing with the occult, had an inverted pentagram in a circle on it. That's exactly the symbol that was on the Nauvoo Temple. No wonder people associated Latter-day Saints with the occult. What they don't understand is the history of that symbol.
Lucifer delights, perhaps above anything, in perverting that which is sacred. And this is true for more than sacred symbols. Satanists have their sacrament, their priesthood. They keep their journal histories. The devil perverts true marriage, true family, and true bonds of affection.
Perhaps few realize that raw Satanism is little more than the blaspheming of sacred words and the blasphemous acting out of sacred rites to gain favor with Lucifer.
The satanic mockery of rituals and covenants do not in any way make true acts evil. The adversary has always desired to debase holy symbols. the pure emblems of Christ in his gospel. He mocked sacred figures initially revealed by God, as he mocked Christ on the cross.
Symbols are a powerful medium used by the Lord to communicate doctrinal truths. Symbols are used by the Lord to reveal the doctrines of the kingdom to those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. In the book of Moses, we learn that all things are created and made to bear record of Christ. The prophet Nephi taught that all things which have been given of God from the beginning of the world unto man are the typifying of Christ.
Why is symbolism of any kind important? It's a very easy answer. First off, it's the language of the Spirit.
Symbols are one of the Lord's most effective methodologies in teaching us. His words are full of symbols. The scriptures are full of symbols. If we think about our temple attendance and the symbols that are employed there.
Symbolism is God's language because it transcends words and it evokes images and ideas that cannot be always expressed in words, but that everyone can understand.
No man has to do the teaching. We can look at the symbol, ponder upon it, and let the Lord teach us.
It's a universal and unifying language because it transcends all cultural boundaries, beliefs, religions, and it evokes the images and ideas that all of us can understand.
Those symbols help us to find our place in the Lord's world.